What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of Something in the Water podcast. I'm Cracka,
I am Desko Martin.
and let's start with how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. Trying to figure out uh my next move. Um, I wouldn't say I'm unsure of it, but there's a lot I want to do.
Hmm.
How about you? How are you feeling?
The same exact boat.
Yeah.
Yo, we turn that.
Yeah, turn
Well,
this.
yeah.
We're this way?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right.
How's didn't you take over the marketing with our space?
Yeah, so I am the creative director for our space. So we do a lot of marketing for different businesses, stuff like that. I oversee a lot of the stuff. We're kind of building more of a team. So like
Hmm.
now we're going into a part where it's kind of like eventually it'll get to a management kind of position. But yeah, definitely been doing a lot of that. Right now I'm working on like a 15-second commercial for the news.
The news
Yeah, it's gonna be no, it's not for them, but it's gonna be an Our Space commercial on the news.
on the news.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've been kind of just learning new kind of ways to make things look visually pleasing rather than being okay with just because I know I'm fire. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So kind of think of new formats to video editing. What about you?
I was playing around with some color correcting today.
Okay.
I was editing a music video, and man, it's I like messing with color.
Yeah. Yep. How do you color your videos?
So I'll take a screenshot
Yeah.
in my editing software, and then I open up Lightroom, and I use Lightroom to adjust like the colors and
Yeah.
stuff. I think for the most part, I really just adjust like the vibrance, maybe the saturation a little bit, and then I go into the individual colors.
Mhm.
And like let's say it was this one, white, and so like probably the orangish, I might
Yeah.
turn up a little bit, and then maybe the red just a little bit, and then I get like artistic from there. Where for the look of the video, if I wanted to have no pink,
Yeah.
it's like I'll just go to the pink and then like drop the saturation, maybe all the way, maybe like lower, maybe raise it up or
Yeah.
turn the navy blues up, stuff like
So it
that.
sounds like you want to be a colorist.
I don't, yeah, I think I just like that part
Yeah.
of the process. Um, what's your least favorite part of editing?
My least favorite part, I guess it depends what type of video. My least favorite part for music videos always been syncing up the lyrics with
For
the
real?
voice. Yeah, I hate that. Um, my biggest part for I would say like a commercial video or like for a business would be um I don't know. I don't think I have one to be honest. I think it's fairly simple and easy. I think I honestly enjoy that
I have an
way
idea
more.
of the topic.
Huh?
I have an idea of a topic that
What?
we can talk about.
Yeah.
So like context, I believe I shot my last music video uh this past weekend.
Really.
Yeah. And it's been a long time coming
Mm-hmm.
where I just have slowly what happens is in the beginning of like if someone watching this,
Yeah.
if you started shooting music videos tomorrow,
Yeah.
the first time you shoot a video, you've never done it before, so you have any idea is a new idea.
Yeah.
But now once you've done 10 music videos, you got to get more creative and like come up with new stuff and
Mhm.
improve. And then once you've done 20, it gets harder. Kind of like the more and more you do, you start doing ideas that naturally come to you. And where I'm at, it's been 12 or 13 years. I've done
Yeah.
over 500 music videos.
Sheesh.
So I feel like everything that I could give, I've gave.
Yeah.
All of the ideas, I've done them, and I've lost the love and the passion and the fire. And now it's more so when I'm doing a video, I feel like, and this isn't good, but like doing it for the money.
Yeah.
And so then it's like if I'm just doing it for the money, there's way more things that I can be doing just for the
For
money
money. Yeah.
to make way more money that are way easier. And so I want to talk about like you came from music videos to now doing like corporate videos.
Yeah.
What's the difference between music videos and corporate business videos?
For me,
Pros and cons.
okay.
Pros and cons.
So for me, I think about, let's talk about music videos. For me, music videos, I mean, like, to be honest, I feel like I come from, I would say, like, not the best environment, not the best, like, upbringing when it comes to being outside. Like, let's say I come from the hood, I would say that.
Yeah.
And I feel like music videos make me feel like, have always made me feel like I'm still in the hood. Like, in a sense of like mentality, people you're dealing with when it comes to like, even like payment and stuff. I've gotten arguments about people paying me, after I already shot the music video, like just stuff like that. And it's like, I always wanted to feel like, not that I got up out the hood, but in a sense, I feel like, I always wanted to make sure like people respect me for the work I did.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, I think people do, but I think it's hard for people who are also trying to come up in a sense. I think sometimes it's hard for people to see the value in you when they don't see the value in kind of like what they're doing or themselves in the moment. And so I feel like that's when you get people trying to like, doing music videos, you get people trying to like lowball you, trying to be like, oh, how much for a 1 minute video, or a promo video. That's where all that stuff comes from, like early music video shooting. And I think being a music video director and a person who does music videos, like it's for me, it was very hard because I knew how creative I wanted to be, and I knew that in your market or in your area, if there's no money circulating for creativity in that sense, you'll only be boxed in by the amount that's in rotation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, like I was shooting music videos in Detroit. To this day, a lot of the music videos still look the same. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't necessarily say it's because nobody doesn't have any money, but because it's the only thing that's proven to work. And with the people that are already shooting music videos, like it's the same price and it's forever the standard price. So because this works and it's the same price, we're forever not going to want anything else. And I think it's very like harboring to your heart, and even your like, kind of like, it's like when you think about it, it's like if videos were your life work, if your life's work, shooting music videos will be the most like daunting thing you can do, because it's like you'll never be able to create the one thing you want to create, which is the most like epic music video ever. You know what I'm saying? And I think when I stopped, it's kind of like the same thing, kind of what you said. Like after a while, you stop thinking about like, all right, I don't want to be creative no more. I'm just going to take the money and shoot the video. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, after you start doing that so many times, it's like, bro, I don't even want to do this no more. Like there's so much more other things you can do for money. And then so I just completely stopped, and I stopped shooting videos. I stopped shooting anything, And I feel like in that sense, it was cool for me, just my journey. It was cool for me because people like you would hit me up and be like, yo, like your videos were fire, your colors were fire. Other people would tell me all the time how good I was. And I think that's what will happen to you if you do decide that, is like people are going to remember you and miss you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's up to you if you want to come back or not. But I think for me, when I went to doing commercial stuff, like with businesses and stuff, I think it's kind of like I got my reps in from music videos to know like, okay, this is what I need to be doing, and this is what I enjoy doing, and this is the type of environment I want to be in, if that makes sense.
I think music videos is like training camp.
Exactly.
Like,
it's training camp.
To become a Navy SEAL, they put you through Hell Week.
Yeah.
I think if you look at a videographer's life, like career path, in the beginning, like maybe club events and music videos are going to be the most creativity taxing, stressful, low pain.
Yeah.
Like I think it's the hardest. I think that music videos are the hardest way to earn money with your video camera.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I said there's an importance to branding. Like from the very beginning of our podcast, is branding is everything. And it's like, but then at the same sense, if there's nobody else paying what you feel like you're worth, then you're still not going to be able to break that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So then now that I shoot businesses, I feel like I enjoy doing that. I feel like I haven't burnt out yet. And I feel like with that, it's almost like each business, it's not a song. It's not a music video. So it's not you music video, we know sequences, we know scenes, we know all right. So for me, my steps would be all right, I would shoot the most. So I'd be like, all right, I need 3 performance shots. I need B-roll shots. I'm gonna have you perform the whole song and I'm just gonna get a whole B-roll, B-roll clip of that run. And then I'm gonna just go around and B-roll the ceiling and B-roll this and B-roll that. And then I'm gonna slap it all together and throw some effects on it.
Mm-hmm.
But with businesses, I feel like me telling you I'm a problem solver is that each business is its own entity and they do their own thing. They sell their own thing. They have their own product or they're giving their own information. So you have to come up with a new way each time you're interacting with these videos of how to successfully showcase what they're trying to, the message they're trying to get out. So for me, it's like new ways of creativity. And so that's why I feel like I haven't burnt out or haven't got tired.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, do you get bored? Because when I would think about business videos over the last few years, I felt like when I do music videos, I get to like be creative and do all this crazy stuff. And if I just film like a dentist sitting here with his legs crossed and hello, I'm Dr. blah, blah, blah. Come see us at Michigan. That I thought, that'd be so boring. I'd hate my life. I wouldn't fill my creative cup. But then what I've been thinking about lately is I'll fill my creative cup doing something else. Because if doing the creative thing becomes not fun and it becomes all about the money, well, then fill your cup with a different creative thing and do something else for the money that's way less creatively taxing, that's way less stressful, that's way easier and a higher pay. And
I definitely think that too. I thought that in the beginning of like, oh, I'm doing business stuff, it's gonna be corporate stuff, it's gonna be like boring. But like for me, like I just think about this one thing all the time. For me, shooting a music video, the biggest no of a music video is transforming or panning the actual frame of the music video out to where there's a black screen in the background, right? Yeah. So like us, we know whatever happens with this music video, it needs to stay in the same aspect ratio and not show any borders, not show any white in the background, not show anything like that. To where now like we're doing corporate stuff where like I'm trying to learn like 2D animation, 3D stuff. And it's like, all right, I'm going to have a whole nother frame come in this way of text and I'm going to have it mask away with this and I'm going to do this and this is going to have a border. And I think that fills my cup enough where it's like, all right, here's a new video and here's a new way I'm going to approach it and let me learn something. And so I feel like with doing that, there's just way more stuff I'm learning and I like to learn. So I feel like that's why I haven't burnt out.
Have you ever been to a job to do and didn't do it?
Video wise?
Yeah. Like let's say you showed up to shoot a video and it wasn't going to plan and you were like, you know what? Hey, let's either reschedule or like
no. Recently something happened to me though. We showed up, it was one of the last videos we had to do for this contract. And I shot it, we took off, and I usually I start the editing process right afterwards, and I didn't. And the contract deadline was coming up, and I started the video editing, and I put the first clip on the timeline and noticed that the rest of the clips were corrupt. I didn't have any of them. Yep. So luckily, it was legit a day before the deadline hit that we had to hit up the business again. And luckily they were able to do it the next day and I was able to record and get it done.
Dang.
Yep. So I feel like the reward is bigger with like corporate stuff, but I also feel like the like, what do they say? Like the points of error or just like, if you mess up that one time, like you only have that one time to shoot it. There's no hitting up the artist again, like, hey, we're gonna shoot another scene. I feel like I used to do that all the time. Like, hey, I feel like we need more scene. I'm gonna shoot it again, or feel like we need to do this again. Like, there's no room for error when it comes to corporate stuff. So I feel like doing that or having that happen, it's just made me realize like I need to always double check everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. There's a lot of improving you have to do, but I like corporate stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like community. I feel like a lot of the corporate stuff we do is community based. So that's what kind of fills my cup as well.
How do you feel about transparency or authentic or being real? Or how are you when things aren't going well in your head? Because I'll tell you about after, like how my weekend was.
Um, like what do you mean?
Like, let's say you're filming a video
Yeah,
and you're thinking like, this sucks.
yeah,
Why does this suck? What do I need for it to not suck?
yeah,
I don't have any ideas right now.
yeah,
Dang, I don't have any other places we can go to.
yeah.
This is gonna suck. And it's like, have you been in that or
Only with music videos.
Yeah,
Yeah, only with music videos. Have you ever pulled up to a music video, shot the scene, and realized like this is gonna look terrible? Like, yeah, only with music videos, and that's what I'm saying. Like, your creativity burns out because you have to think of the most epic thing to do with two locations. You know what I'm saying? Or and it's just like understanding that like you did 500 music videos. I just looked at my Dropbox the other day. I did a little over like 100 and something music videos.
and you did those all in a short amount of time. It seemed like.
Yeah, I started shooting music videos when I was like, I think it was like early in the beginning of 2018 or at the end of 2017. I feel like I stopped shooting music videos in 2019.
Yeah,
You
it
know
was
what I'm
like
saying?
2 years of like full speed. You were
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful for the things I've done or I feel people say I've accomplished. But I think most importantly, I just learned editing, and I feel like I don't think I'm a master, but where I burnt out at was I wasn't learning anymore, so it became less of a creativity thing for me and more of just like a job, like you said,
Yeah.
and that burns out fast. That completely burns out fast. I hate when things turn into like an actual job because then it's like, why am I doing this? I
Mhm.
could do anything else. Yeah. But what about you? Have you ever felt like something went wrong in a music video and you had to walk away or anything like that?
Yeah. So, I want to say a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and it was for a big artist, the
Yeah.
biggest artist I've ever worked with.
Really?
Yeah, like we drove to Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't have any ideas. I just had a couple general ones, like something outside, something inside. Like that's
Yeah.
not very. And I just knew like a field for outside. I'll
Mhm.
figure the rest out when I get there.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to like all of my stress. Whenever I get overwhelmed, it's I got too many things on my plate. I'm spread way too thin. I need to get rid of some shit. I need to do way less things and just double down on,
Mhm.
a few things versus like trying to double down on 17 things every week. So I'm like torturing myself, setting myself up for failure. And so since I'm taking on so many things, majority of the time I'll be busy up until the day of.
Yeah.
So I'm not prepared. Like when I explained, most people, if they do music videos, like they do music videos
Yeah.
for a living.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They don't also
Own a studio.
own a studio
Yeah.
and do this and do
Yeah.
this and do
Yeah.
this and do this. And we had like an hour car ride yesterday to what was going to be a music video, and that's what I was talking about on the way there. I was like, most people. So I do beats, right? Most people, they just do beats for a living. That's what they do every single
Yeah.
day. I do studio sessions, and I do a lot of different things, and so I'd always talk about I need to do less things, and I feel like now God, a higher power, the universe is forcing me to stop doing things where it's like it literally removed, and it happened 2 days ago. It's like shooting a music video, and I felt like I don't want to do this anymore, and it clicked
Yeah.
because I've hinted around retiring in the past, but it was more so like I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so stressed out, it's going bad, and I'm like, man, I'm retiring. I ain't doing music
Yeah.
videos no more. Or I've even said that about studio sessions where there were certain times where I'm like, I'm gonna just close down the studio. This ain't worth my time. This is the least amount of money I make doing this.
Yeah.
I'm retiring. But it was more so emotions, right? Just like stress, very high, overwhelmed. I'm done doing this. I actually felt okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I think in the past I would get overwhelmed and then end up basically, whether it's my ego being like, no, I'm still the man at music videos.
Yeah.
I still want to be the man at music videos. I still want to be able to answer them calls and be like, yeah, I'm getting calls to do music videos. So, but where I knew it clicked was the following day. This was yesterday. I thought to myself, if the biggest people that I've ever worked with, if they all called me right now and wanted a video, and I knew it inside, like, no, I would tell them no, that like, no, I'm not the one.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh shit, this is real. And so I thought, okay, it's a new thing. It's a little scary, but I know that this is growth. This is how you evolve, you know? And it reminds me of when I retired from being a rapper.
Yeah.
Because leading up to that, I was telling my wife today, like my North Star was I'm going to be a famous rapper. So when I was 18 to 23, it was just, that was always my North Star.
Yeah.
Like, I need some money right now. I'm going to get a job here, but my North Star is I'm going to be a famous rapper.
Yeah.
So I'm just working here right now to get some money, whatever, but I'm still famous rapper. And that was always my North Star. And then, you know, for me to build up and everything, my name, my reputation, and it was all for Cracka, the music artist.
Yeah.
And I had 16 CDs, and I felt like if I was going to retire from being a music artist, that I was wasting all of that. It's like, oh, I had built it up. And then if I stop, like I'm starting from scratch again, you know? But what is cool is for anyone like now that doesn't know that stuff, they would hear me tell that story and be like, you made the right move.
Yeah.
Like I know you from the beat guy, the studio guy, the content guy, the tutorial guy, the music video guy. Like you made the right decision. But the same like chair that I'm sitting in now or this situation is exactly how it was back then, to where it was like, I feel like I'm throwing away everything I built up my whole life. And it was scary, but then I just like started pursuing, I'm just not going to make music no more. And I'm going to spend all my time then producing and doing studio time and music videos. And like within a few weeks, like I never even looked back. And now it's been 12 years.
It's crazy.
And I haven't like, I still miss it. No, like I believe I made the right decision. And so it's scary and stuff, but like right now, I know that that's the right decision because, you know, we're going to look back on this 10 years from now and it's going to be like, don't you remember when you were the guy shooting all the music videos and stuff, man? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. You were doing that forever. I thought you were never going to give that up. And then it's like, of course, look where you went with it. So, right now I'm at this stage where it's like, what about the studio? Yeah. What about like I still have this lease? What about the guys that work in the studio? What about my content on social media? What about my tutorial? Like, am I still talking about music stuff? Then I think about my name, like Cracka. Is that a thing of the past? And I grow up and now I go by my government name, or you know, I was thinking about.
That's crazy. I didn't think about that.
The Rock, for example. Like, let's say The Rock is like the Cracka name. But then when he got out of the WWE or WWF and he wanted to do acting and that type of stuff, he started going by Dwayne Johnson. And it was like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And I think the same thing with
Cracka
50 Cent. He was always just 50 Cent. It's 50 Cent, 50 Cent, G-Unit, 50 Cent. And then he wanted to branch out and not just be this rapper anymore and become more of a mogul and entrepreneur and even an actor and stuff. And it was Curtis, 50 Cent, Jackson. And so I don't know. My name is Nicholas Bazo. So I don't know if I'm now Nicholas Cracka Bazo, but The Rock's social media is still The Rock. It's not Dwayne Johnson. So I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's heavy.
It's a lot.
That's heavy, man. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like what I see you as is like the information guy, to be honest. Like, I feel like I feel like you're, to me, you know, I feel like you're my Gary V in that sense. Like,
I used to have it written down that I wanted to be the music industry Gary V. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying is like, I think about all the information you have on like marketing, ads, AdSense, all that stuff. I think about all the information you have on music, recording, mastering, all that stuff. I think about the information you have just in general in life, and even with content. And I just think like, even if you stop shooting music videos, I don't think it hurts you. I think you just stop shooting music videos and you continue to be the person you are, you know? I feel like when I stopped shooting music videos, people only knew me as the cameraman or the camera guy. People didn't even know my name for real, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're still you. Like, you know, you let one thing go and then just you continue in the different direction and things don't change. And I feel like as long as you're happy, that's all that matters, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just emotional advice, not business advice, because I don't know what you're gonna do next. But
Right.
I think, you know, you're gonna continue to be yourself, and I definitely don't think. I don't know. I think the name should stay the same. I feel like you could change the name, but then it's like, why would you change? I don't think you lose anything by changing it, but I think like like you said, you've built up this whole thing, and it's damn near like the Cracka empire. You know what I'm saying?
With everything we know about branding.
Yeah,
Like,
it's your
I've been
brand.
building Cracka for 20 years.
Yeah.
Nick Basil, that was me through high school.
Yeah.
And then I stopped that. Even when I was 15 and I started going to parties and I wanted to like take myself serious as Cracka, I would introduce myself at parties. I'd be like, shit, the government name, that's in the past now. That don't serve me if everyone knows me as that. I want people to know me as like the new version of me, the Cracka. And so I'd introduce myself as Cracka. Everyone I've met in the last 20 years, I say Crack. Hey, it's Crack.
I think if anything, you start like a new business name. Like, you're still Cracka, but you also own like I think of even the story of like Gary V. It wasn't it that it was something
library.
With wine, yeah. But it was his father's business, right? Mm-hmm. At some point. So, and now it's like Gary V, the person, and then it's, what is it, Vander Media?
Vander Media, yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost like
Crack Media, maybe, or
it's almost like Cracka, and then now you're almost gonna turn into this other where it's like the upgrade is now a totally separate brand that you're building, and you're still Cracka, the information, everything with everything you've done, but now you're building this other empire. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's how I see it. Maybe, you know. Don't take my advice. I don't know nothing for real, but yeah, I definitely think like, just being happy is the main thing.
Yeah, we had a deep talk on the way there, and shout out to Kadar. He went with us out of town.
Yeah,
and the music video that I was supposed to do yesterday, it didn't happen.
That's crazy.
Like, that's how bad it went.
Yeah,
and like the day before, the music video, and this is in my head, right? Mm-hmm. So I gave them the analogy of, let's say we don't drink wine. Yeah. You give us a glass of wine right now, we're gonna be like, tastes like wine. I don't know. But then you have a wine, what is it, connoisseur? Yeah. Where they taste it like, oh, it's too tart. The sweetness is blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And they're that. And so I said, you guys, when it comes to music videos, I'm that wine connoisseur. You know, I've done 500 music videos. So my taste and judgment is the thing that people hire.
Yeah, you're the connoisseur of videos. Yeah.
So there'll be times, like, let's say a music video, I'm like, 7 out of 10 right now, based on how I got. The customers, oh, it's amazing, right? Or other people would see it too and be like, this is great. Mm-hmm. And it's like, to my taste, to my judgment, it's still a 7 out of 10. Yeah. I think we should have done another scene, or I think that there wasn't enough of this, too much of that, whatever. But, and I get it, that's what people are paying for. Where was I going with that? This happens all the time with me, where I'll be taking turns. Yeah. And then I end up getting lost. I'm like, where did I even come for that?
I think people are paying you for the taste of the music video.
Yeah, the taste.
Wine connoisseurs.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
But I was saying, you were talking about happiness.
Yep.
And I was just talking about how, I don't know where the hell I was going with that, but just not being happy with, I have to believe in the product, you know? And like what I used to say when CDs were crushing it, that was the easiest business of mine to ever sell. Mm-hmm. Because, and when my brother had the pre-workout, because it was like, all right, I had this Royal Legacy clothing. Yeah. I got to try to convince people that they need, and they don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need it. I just got to try to get them to want it, but they still don't need it. Right? It's just like, yo, you can wear these clothes. I want you to wear mine.
Mm-hmm.
What benefit is it? Just, you know, it's the brand. I don't know, support it, whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to make someone want that. But then with like the CD duplication, it was the smallest orders. Like most companies would offer like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000,
Yeah.
but it was hard to get 100 or 50 or 150,
Mhm.
200. So it's like, yo, we offer at low quantities, the cheapest prices on the internet. I did my research, the fastest turnaround.
Yeah.
Like, you need this. Easy to sell. I believed in it. Now with music videos, I've just seen them go down and down and down and down in value. And I think it's similar to beats. I remember beats were so hard to get, like the supply and demand.
No,
There was such a low
yeah.
supply that they were worth a lot. Like I
Yeah.
used to sell beats for $300, $400, $500,
Yeah.
$250 all the time. I used to make a living mostly off of beats.
Yeah.
And then it was like more and more people started making beats. Then people were trying to get their name out. So they're doing free beats, free beats, free beats.
Mhm.
And now it got to the supply of beats are through the roof
Yeah.
to where it's so competitive. And
Yeah.
a beat is just a commodity now.
Mhm.
Cause like, I even think that young people that start pursuing music now, they don't even know that you're supposed to pay for beats. Cause all they've ever known is like,
Free beat.
pursuing
Yeah.
rap, going to YouTube, seeing free Detroit type beat. They steal it off YouTube, they make a song to it. And I don't even think they know that some people, like, you're supposed to buy the
Yeah.
beats and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that was the easy way for me to be like, beats is one thing that I'll let go of.
Yeah.
It's still a hobby of mine that I like doing. And it's a thing that I still make money doing, but it is more of it's not a thing that I'm on 10 with. But then, yeah, with music videos, I seen them lose their value. And if I was giving anyone advice, it'd be double down on short form content. Honestly, you can learn how to shoot shit with your phone,
Mhm.
edit shit with your phone. I have a course teaching that. Like, you don't need to hire anyone or spend money
Yeah.
at all. Like, I believe that. So it's hard for me to sell something that's thousands of dollars to someone that it's not a smart move. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, you don't have any fans. You're going to spend thousands of dollars on this and get 100 views.
Yeah.
If I was your financial advisor, I wouldn't let you give me the money.
Mhm.
But I understand if you are giving me the money, it's because you still want the video.
Yeah.
And then what I also ran into is, in the beginning, if you're doing $200, $300, $400, $500 videos, you don't put that pressure on yourself like that because it's a $200, $300, $400, $500 video. And what happened yesterday, so now that I charge thousands of dollars to do the video, the pressure gets higher and higher. So I have to deliver on that.
Yeah.
And I'm such an honest, genuine, authentic person that I can't hide it. And if I feel in any way that I'm not delivering the value, you can see it. And
Yeah.
I'll even tell you it, And that's what happened yesterday. It was just like, bro, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. And so Alyssa I had went in the room with her to kind of like come up with ideas or listen to the song. And she was like, just don't put pressure on yourself. Just go do it. And I said, well, we had an idea to shoot a scene on the couch, but like that's stuff I did at $200 videos, $300 videos.
Yeah.
Like that's not a $2,000 video.
Yeah.
Like I got to do some next level shit. I got to have some crazy angles I've never done before. We got to do something. Like, to just go in the room and shoot a scene on the living room couch in an Airbnb is like, what? That's not a Cracka. Like imagine if you seen Cole Bennett drop that. You'd be like,
Yeah.
well, bro, he fell off.
Yeah.
Where's the creativity? Where's the freaking genius?
Yeah.
And so I have enough self-awareness and I'm humble enough to know if I can't perform at the level that I need to be performing at, then I won't perform. I think that's why professional athletes end up retiring.
Yeah.
Like a boxer, if they're used to going out there and knocking people out, if they start seeing like, I'm a little slower than I used to be, or I might hurt myself, I can't perform at the level
Yeah.
that I know I need to perform at, man, some of these young guys would eat me alive.
But then they turn into coaches.
And they move on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's where I feel like, that's why I said, like, what do you do next? I don't know what you do next, but I do know you have the information of that a lot of people are still looking for. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's shoot music videos, content, or whatever it is, like, I would still consider you the top person for a music video. You know what I'm saying? So like, even with me, like somebody asked me the other day, like, how much for a video? And they DM me on Instagram, and I was like, bro, I haven't shot a video in like 3-4 years, like 3 years. And then they're like, okay, like, well, I got a camera, like I'm trying to figure it out. And then I was just like, bro, like, all you have to do is let me know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to help. And it's like, I feel like maybe you not charge people for music videos, but at the same time, like still, you know, turn it into a business where you're helping people. And I feel like maybe the helping part would be the fulfillment too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because that's where, like, that's why I say like community. Everything we do is community based, and that's where I get my fulfillment from. Is basically just that, like knowing that the events that we put on, like nobody in Lansing is doing that in a sense of getting people together who are black and brown and having a good time without being just like without any drama happening. You know what I'm saying? Or even like the Juneteenth festival, Hispanic Heritage, all that stuff. All the vendors that we place there for a low fee, sometimes even free, and then be like them coming back to being like, this is our biggest selling day, or this is our biggest sales happen this day. And like stuff like that is where the fulfillment comes from. So maybe like you maybe not doing the actual service, but giving the information is the service, and then your fulfillment comes from that.
I just realized, so my idol is Alex Hermosi. And so he started off training people.
Yeah.
And then he moved up to like owning the gym.
Yeah.
And then he learned how to run the gym. So then he started running multiple gyms.
Yeah.
And then he realized, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather teach other people how to run the gym.
Yeah.
And then that's when he like,
yeah.
So I know that I don't see myself doing the service anymore, but I love educating, like teaching, and I love inspiring. And so I think that my future definitely falls around. I did this thing. It was from, I think, Atomic Habits, but it's like 4 questions.
Yeah.
I don't remember them off top, but one of them was like, what comes natural to you that other people struggle with? Where do you get greater returns than the average person? What activities make you lose track of time? And then I forget the 4th one, but it was questions like that that make you think, right? And a lot of mine were all on, I lose track of time when I'm having conversations with like-minded people, where I'm brainstorming and strategizing. Where do I feel the most alive? That was one of the questions too. And for me, it was always like creating. So creating, educating, inspiring. What comes natural to me is like seeing the big picture, like solving a problem and then simplifying it and explaining it to someone else in the way that they would understand it. It's like I could talk to a frat boy and understand how to like start a business, but break it down like a sex analogy, so he'd comprehend it. So yeah, it's like the whole creating the content, the podcast, like that's shit that I see myself doing. Like I could see myself doing podcasting for 10 plus years, like for sure another decade. I can see myself creating content for sure for another decade. But then it was like, well, then how do I make a living though?
Yeah.
So that's where it was like, okay, we got to tie in the creating the content around things where I'm educating, but then maybe have a private course or something where I teach the whole step-by-step, start to finish, in-depth stuff. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky.
That's where it gets tricky. And how you're talking about like doing classes and stuff in person, or like that's still a thing. I'd love to do it that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know either.
I know I'll find it out though. My mom, she called me today and was asking like, about getting together and doing stuff. And I said, of course I want to. I said, the thing, like right here, right now, the timing is bad because like I just decided yesterday that I'm going to retire from doing a thing that I was making, you know, let's say a quarter of my income from. So right now, all my brain can think about is, what am I replacing that with? What am I, like, what does the future hold? I want to figure this shit out. And I know you can't force things into place, but at the same time, as long as I see progress, you know, like I'm hoping that after this, I can talk to Malik and like help put some shit together and, you know, connect some dots and stuff. Yeah. But my mom, I told her, this happened, but like I'm gonna figure it out. Like I don't know right now, but I know that I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I said it might be today, it might be tomorrow, it might be in a
Mhm.
week. I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. When I figure it out, like everything will change.
No, for sure. Yeah. I definitely think like I don't know, I think it's like finding the purpose within the same concept of generating money. I feel like that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
But just because even like me, like I would say, like for me, making money off doing the thing I love to do, I enjoy that. But then it's like, well, I'm not in your position where you already have everything in a sense music related, and then going from a point where it's like, is it time to just close this chapter?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like that's very different.
I was like, bro, what about Crack House Studios? Like, we just got all
Yeah,
this merch, like Crack House.
yeah,
And then I was thinking of it, like trying to see it from an outside perspective. And the example I gave was, Method Man, the rapper.
yeah,
And so I thought, well, what if Method Man had like a production studio and he called
yeah,
it the Meth House? And I thought that'd be an immature ass name to call it, like a
yeah,
meth house. And I'm like, well, I call mine a crack house.
yeah,
So do I need a new name? I like crack house. Like I have the
yeah,
logo, it's known, the branding. I don't know.
yeah.
It's a lot of shit to think about
So it
because,
sounds like identity crisis a little bit
yeah, well,
with branding.
yeah, trying to figure out like what things do I let go of and what
Yeah,
things do I hold on to.
yeah,
Because I feel like if I was having a strategy session with myself and the term like, let's put it all out on the table,
yeah,
the main piece would be like, okay, we got this crackalack piece. This is the biggest chip that we got that we're, gambling with. That's a huge thing that has to be on the table. That's 20 years of my life. That's everything that I'm known for.
hmm
And that's all based in the music industry. So do we take the crackalack brand and we expand outside, but still go by crack? I like crack as well, not like the drug, but like the name, just
yeah,
crack.
yeah,
And I like Something in the Water hosted by Desko and Crack.
yeah,
So it's like, it's shorter. Instead of Desko Martin, it's just
yeah,
Desko.
yeah,
Instead of Crackalack, it's
yeah,
Crack.
yeah,
Desko and Crack. What do you
yeah.
think about that?
I like that too. I like that. I came up with my name in the sense of I wanted a first and last name. I think about I had a lot of names before.
Mm-hmm.
Like my first rap name was it was Intelligent Mind Divine. That was my first rap name.
That's a
I was
fucking
I was Lyrical Miracle. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I was listening to Immortal Technique, conspiracy theory raps and I was with my boys making raps about the government, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then it went to Intelligent Mind Divine to IMD, and then it went to IMD Real Life, and then it went to I forgot what and then it went to Martin Marcos, because then I started making beats and I made my beat tag and it said Martin Marcos.
What would Marcos come from?
That's my middle name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Martin Marcos. I think that's when I first heard about you. I
Yeah.
first met you. Or maybe your Facebook name was Martin Marcos or
Yep. So like even like shout out War Skills, but to this day he always call me Marcos. And like a lot of people call me Marcos, but I don't it's my middle name,
Did
so
you write me on MySpace back in the day?
I'm pretty sure, probably. I wrote everybody. I was trying to do it back then.
Someone that went by Marcos reached out to me. This is like when I was like rapping on instrumentals and stuff.
I can't remember.
I wonder if this was you.
I don't know.
And MySpace is old. We wouldn't even be able to like log in and check.
Yeah.
But I remember this is like the Lil Wayne era dedication where he was rapping on instrumentals and stuff. And so like back then, if you were doing an album, it was original beats. If you're doing a mixtape, it was industry beats. And so I would always be working on like an album and a mixtape.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was doing a mixtape on industry beats. And I remember a young Mexican,
Yeah.
Marcos, reached out to me on MySpace and was like, yo, you should rap on the Lil Boosie Set It Off.
I can't remember.
And I did it. And I swear maybe at the outro or the intro, I was like, shout out to Marcos or something like that.
That's crazy. We might have to go back and try to find that.
But yeah, because I would have had to been like 20.
Yeah.
And I'm 35, you're 27 right now.
Yeah.
So 8 years. So you would have been like 12.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And it was a young.
It might have been me. I don't know, man. But that's what I'm saying is like, I don't know. I just feel like for me, it made sense for me because then I was like, okay, well, like I like the I like the Desko Martin. I like the Martin Marcos. Like I like having two. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
think of like even now you can think of a Kendrick Lamar or Rick Ross. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Stuff like that. And it was just almost like a kind of like how James was saying in the sense of like, Martin is everybody knows Martin. This is Martin. Martin might be shy. Martin might be this, but it's like who I wanted to be at that time being young or who I knew I could be was this other person. And it's still me, but in a sense that's why I always kept the Martin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then it's like this other part of me, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Crackalak is a good name. I like it. I would keep it if I was you because it's you.
Yeah.
Who are you? Of course you're Nick without Crackalak, but then it's like take Crackalak away, it's like taking 20 years of your
So
life.
that's what I feel like. It's like
Yeah.
throwing away. Like, what? 20 years of
Yeah.
my life, bro?
Maybe the studio, I mean, maybe a different name. I wouldn't be necessarily sure, but I definitely don't think, I think the studio could run without you. Like, in a sense, I think if you had the correct people around you, or even if you allowed people to grow into the certain, into the certain positions that they know they can do, like, I think you could start a whole nother business and still have this business, if that makes sense.
I know also I don't want to run this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in charge.
Yeah.
Like, when I get hit with the questions or whatever, because I'm
Yeah.
the one in charge, it's like, bro, I'm getting hit with it. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
like, can I hand this to someone else?
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, it's me. Like, I don't want to do it. I want
Yeah.
to turn my phone off.
Yeah. Then that's what I'm saying is I think like when we get into like at our space, just around different people I've been dealing with, when we get into little group sessions, group meetings, we always make sure we tell people like, hey, we want to stop like trying to run it by somebody else to see if it's okay to do this thing. Like if this is your position, make sure you're starting to run that position.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
fire. That's fire.
So it's kind of like you're crack, this is crack house, but then it's almost like you're handicapping everyone else by
Yeah.
not allowing them to, hey, do you want to be this position? Because this could be yours. You know what I'm saying?
We had a good meeting, and what's crazy is I learned this from Something in the Water podcast.
Yeah.
It was like some shit that I said
Yeah.
in a clip where I was talking about the Legos,
Mhm.
and I was like, bro, we look at the Lego box where we see
Yeah.
it all put
Yeah.
together, and we would start reverse engineering how to do it. It's like, oh, that's a damn good thing. Why haven't I done that with the Crack House
Yeah.
Studios? And so, yeah, it was me, Eclipse, and Malik. We were having a meeting, and I was just like using my invisible whiteboard, and I said, just picture this. At the top, it says Crack House Studios.
Yeah.
And there's someone that owns it. Like, I know for a fact that's where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be the leader. Like, so maybe it's like a monthly meeting, leading, seeing everyone or whatever. Or maybe it's a weekly, whatever. But then under that, we have these branches, and the branches could be
Operations, marketing.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said marketing. Then under marketing, you have a content team. Then you have people that come up with ideas for the ads, film the ads, edit the ads. And then you have the recording studio. Now, who works in the recording studio? You got producers and engineers. What are their roles? They provide all these services, custom beat, studio session, and I said, now in the studio, there should be someone that's like the manager or the operator in charge of the operations. And he should be the one putting out all the fires that have to do with the studio or questions like so-and-so wants a session this day, this time. What do we do? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to be the owner, the guy that had the vision for it and like enabled it, got the space, put the money into it and got it up and going. But I want someone else to be running the day-to-day. But it's hard when you're in the beginning and there's not, like in a perfect world, we're making hundreds of thousands of dollars from Crack House Studios. And now I just say, here, I'm going to allocate some of this money and hire a position. But it's still building. So it'd have to be like a percentage or something, or like, hey, for right now, you're going to take on this role. There's not that much business right now, so it wouldn't be that many hours.
But I mean, there's sacrifices that have to be made like that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like
that's part of building a fucking business.
Yeah. I mean, building our space, like, till this day, nobody has salaries. You know what I'm saying? We're still building the nonprofit. We're still building the creative side. Still getting contracts, still generating money for events. But I think like if people want it enough, if you want it enough, if your team wants it enough, there's sacrifices that have to be made where people are working, I wouldn't say for free, but working for the opportunity to eventually be in the position of this is a paying job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that starts with figuring out what people want that are around you. You know?
And so with the Lego analogy, I was talking about the E-Myth book, and what it says in it is like, it don't matter how early on, like honestly, even before you start the business, you should draw it out, and you have a company org chart where the company org chart's like, all right, just close your eyes and picture the company 5 to 10 years from now, and picture it successful.
Yeah.
All the different roles. Write it down. Like draw the chart.
Yeah, we have one. I got one in my email right now.
See?
Yeah, for our space.
I don't have one for the studio. I don't have one for any of the different things I do. So it would be step one would be making that. And then it allows everyone to see, oh shit, I'm interested in that one. Yeah. I want to take that on. It's like, all right, here, it's yours. Yeah. And then
and honestly, they might be better at it than you.
For sure.
Because that's their position. You're doing all these positions and you're one person.
Yep. So. Yep. Yeah, spreading myself too thin. And I said that to Eclipse too. I was like, bro, I'm the thing holding everything back, because it's all like, it all comes back to me. And what I'm saying is, I don't want it. Yeah. Like, I'm better off, like, I'm not fit for this. I'm fit for the different position, but I'm doing this position because there's no one else doing it. And but you know, he was cool and everything. Like, oh, you're doing fine, bro. You're doing good. But it's like, you're just being nice, man. I'm not doing fine. In reality, if someone else was doing this, they would do a much better job. Yeah. And someone else should. And so it's kind of like the whole, you have 100% of a small pie. So I would much rather have a slice of something bigger that requires way less of my time and energy and stress and stuff, because I still would love to have access to a recording studio, and I'd still do stuff with it probably every week or so. But I know that if there was a different boss and I could like assign me to be like, yo, let's get Cracka like doing something else. Yeah. Like he should be doing this type of stuff to make us way more money. Why is he still in the recording studio? Why is he still, you know, doing this thing or shooting the music videos? Let's get him out shooting business stuff. Or
I definitely see just like business wise, being a part of a lot like different businesses, just like media businesses, production companies. The actual owner of the company is aware of what's going on, but isn't a part of the process when it comes to like every detail, everything to operate the business. He's more like, there's people that are managing that. They have meetings, but then he's more relationship building, like, you know, almost like sales, you know, networking the business, stuff like that. And so I definitely think you would serve best in that role if you were in a position to let go of the other positions to other people. Yeah. And I think that would relieve you too.
For sure.
Yeah. So I feel like you got enough people around you to make it happen. You just got to see who wants it, to be honest.
And so what? It's just kind of like a, hey, here's what I'm picturing as far as figuring out, because it seems like right now it's dependent on me to figure out every detail of everything. Yeah. And I'm only one person, and it's so exhausting that it's like, I don't even want to open that book.
Yeah. But I think it's only up to you, because maybe you don't know who wants what. Like, I think everybody, in a sense, I think of like, you know, our space, let's say like, coming into it, we all want our own thing. I want my own marketing company. This person wants their own coffee shop. This person wants this. This person owns their own like boutique or something. This person manages spaces for rent over here. You know what I'm saying? So everybody coming into it wants their own thing. But at the same time, it's like everybody at the same time wants to build. And so if you have this one thing that you're building up, you know that when time comes, like everything else there'll be branches that'll go to whatever it is that you want to do. Yeah. So it's kind of like creating the brand and the mind power in the team to build this one successful thing. So then everything else can be successful from it, you know? So I feel like let's say Malik, he does content, he does videos and stuff like that. He does his own freelance. He has his own company, but then it's like, how do you and Malik interact in a way where it's beneficial for the company, so that then it's beneficial for Malik in his own right? You know what I'm saying? I think, like, in a sense, I would think of Malik as a position like me with our space, in the sense of I do a lot of the content. I do a lot of the marketing. I'm the creative director, but at the same time, doing all this allows the networking and the relationships to happen where when I am ready, like all the, all that stuff will come with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like riling everybody up and motivating everybody up to be like, bro, we're going to do this. We're going to do this one good time. And this is everything you're going to benefit from.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I think about it.
I want to see your guys' company org chart.
Yeah.
I also realized that me not having a job for so long is actually a handicap because I've never worked for a company in a company where I've seen what a good company looks like or feels like or interacts and stuff. So I'm very out of touch with that. Like you said, you've been at multiple different media companies and shit. So you're like, I see how it's supposed to be.
But I think that's where like it might hurt you, but at the same time, it's like you're not far from it. It's literally just the organization of your company is where you could, is what's going to level you up. And it's like even these other companies, like a lot of these companies are organized in a way where they work just enough to be able to generate income or just enough to be able to generate money where I feel like the work ethic doesn't even match yours. You know what I'm saying? So I think once you get whatever it is down with the people that you're working with, like it's gonna work out.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So that's a good note to end on right here. Guys, let us know in the comments. What would you say this episode would be called? I think that would help.
I would say this episode is called What's Next?
What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Cracka quits music videos.
Yeah. The end. The music video end.
No more music videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think this episode should be called. Also, let us know what were your key takeaways from this episode. The purpose of us making these episodes is one, to like mind exercise with each other, conversations, go back and forth, but also hopefully provide some value to you guys.
Yeah.
So it's just, we used to have these phone calls private on the phone and it'd be like, bro, we should be, filming it. Recording it so other people can listen to hear, like this is real life. I'm currently figuring out what my next move is. Like this ain't acting. Hopefully by the next episode, I got it figured out.
Yeah, he's got it though.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe on YouTube. Please leave us a rating on Spotify. And I'll see you guys next time.
Catch you guys later.